Hello and welcome to all. In today's session, we'll see what are the most used string functions used in Playwright with C Sharp in automation. Okay. So before we start, first we'll understand why string functions matter in Playwright automation. Okay, basically, if you see string functions we are using in Playwrights. Okay, for the dynamic locators, then text validation or the UI assertions, then API response passing we are using, even we are using the string function when we are handling the test data or the logging and the reporting purpose. Okay, so first we'll start with the contents function. Okay, so it will partial perform the text validation, and if you see here I give the one use case. Okay, so when actual text contains the success uh, text, okay, then it's returns the true, the if condition becomes true, and we are marking the test passed. Okay, so now if you see here actual text is a we extracted the text from the page object. Okay, page is a playwright's object, and this is a hash message is a css selector. Okay, this is the playwright syntax, and we are retrieving the data or extracting the data from the page and storing in actual text, and after that we are using the contents method. Okay, so it is useful for the dynamic message. Okay, and yeah, definitely it will verify the partial text validation. But if in case you want to perform the exact validation, then we'll use the equals method. Okay, here you can see string expected is equal to login, and the actual, again I will copy or I will store the string variable in actual, and I'm using the equals method. So if actual dot equals expected, okay, then if it is returns true, then exact match, this code will execute. Okay, so it will be useful when strict validation is required. Okay, the next, if you want to ignore the case sensitive, okay, so in that case we'll use the equals, okay, login successful and string comparison dot ordinal ignore case. Okay, so it will compare the insensitive match. Okay, so it will not compare the exact match, like if text returns either in uppercase or lowercase, it will ignore it and it will pass the things. So it will prevent the failure due to the UI case difference. Then next, if you want to perform the normalize the text before comparison, okay, or you want we need to handle the inconsistent UI text, then we'll use the two lower or two upper. So the entire data or entire the string will convert either in two lower or two upper. Okay, so here you can see we capture the string in actual, and after that it contains, okay, dashboard. In this dashboard, entire thing is in lower letter, and using two lower method, okay, we convert whatever the string we captured using this identifier, that CSS selector hash title, it will convert into two lower like dashboard. If it is true, it will return, it will execute this code validated. Okay. The next trim. Okay, if in case we need to remove the extra space, then we can use the trim. Okay, and here we can do the actual exact equal to comparison. Okay, like here you can see I use the trim. Okay, using the hash username selector, it will store the value in actual, and after that it will remove the trim, the left side and right side. Okay, so UI often contains hidden spaces. If there is a on UI, if there is a hidden spaces, okay, so it will remove, otherwise our script will fail. Then replace, we can modify the dynamic values. Okay, here you can see price is equal to 500. Okay, if I want to replace with symbol, okay, with double quote only, or then in that case we can use the only price. So we don't require, it is used for the currency formatting and remove the unwanted characters. The next is a substring, so it will extract the partial data. So suppose if I capture the order ID and I want to retrieve the only the numbers, okay, then using substring we can retrieve the partial data. Okay, so it will extract the IDs, tokens, or the codes from UI or the API. Then next is the split. Okay, it will break string into the parts. Like here you can see if we capture the full name, playwright C sharp, and if we use the split, full name dot split, okay, then in that case with space, okay, then it's written the zero dimensional array. Okay, it will store into the string name. And if you see your names of 0, it will return playwright. And if you say names of 1, then it will return the C sharp. Okay, so parsing API response and handling CSV test data. In that case, we can use the split. The next, we can use the string function start with, ends with. Okay, so here we'll confirm if URL dot starts with HTTPS, then if this condition becomes true, this code will execute. Else code will execute. It will validate URL's API endpoints. Okay, then starts with, ends with also useful function in string. Then next is a is null or empty or is null or white space. This is also important function in Playwright with C sharp. Okay, so here we can compare if condition is true, string dot is null or white space and the value. Okay, and then if condition becomes true, if condition will execute. Okay, it will avoid the null reference exception. Then index of, okay, it will find the position. So now suppose if I capture this string, okay, order ID colon 12345, and after that I want to find out the position of the colon. Okay, then we'll use the index of colon. Okay, and after that if I want to print the 12345, then in that case we'll just use the substring method. Okay, for function index plus 1 and trim. Okay, it will extract the values from the complex UI text. Okay, so this way we'll do it. The next is the string interpolation, then dollar double quotes. It is used for the dynamic logging. Okay, so it will mostly we are using for the report generation or the logging. Okay, so now if you see here, if I capture the string username is equal to admin and I want to write in console, okay, then you can use the dollar logged in user and in curly braces you can give the username. It will print in logging. Okay, this is the new features in C Sharp .NET. Okay, so now we'll give the one example like here we can see if I want to extract the order ID from the UI and this is the text. Okay, this is the entire string is there. We have the ID colon and the number is there. Okay, but if I want to just extract the order ID. Okay, just I want to extract ORD 98765 so from UI. So in that case, we need to use the combination of the different functions. Okay, here I give the example. So first we need to store the value in string. Then we need to use the string dot index of. So in this case, message dot index of ID. Okay, then it will return the position of the index. Then using the substring, okay, we need to print the remaining part like message dot substring index plus 3 and the trim. So trim, it will remove the unwanted spaces, and after that we'll print the order ID. Okay, so knowing the just syntax is no use. We need to use the multiple functions in one method, then it's a useful. Okay, then usually what common mistakes when we are developing scripts we are doing? Okay, we are using hard coding full strings, don't hard code any value. We are ignoring the case sensitivity. Okay, so we saw the case sensitive, how uh, case sensitive we can ignore it, or how equal function is exact match is happening. Okay, so not trimming the UI text. Okay, so we need to use the trim functions, we need to use the ignore case. Okay, we don't no need to hard code the any value. We need to handle the null values. Okay, and we need to using the equals where contents is a better. Okay, so those are all are the string functions we are mostly using when we are developing a scripts in Playwright with C sharp automation. Okay, so if in case you have any questions, queries, please let me know. Thank you.